Today was my second time eating eggplants. This is my first year trying them and growing them. The first time I harvested them, I tried them grilled and I loved them. Today's harvest will be used with one of the recommended dishes from some of my Instagram friends. And so I went to the net to get the recipe for today's eggplant parmesan dish. Since this sounds like an Italiano dish, I harvested rosemary, parsley, green onions, and basil, a few herbs that are used in most Italian dishes. Tonight was my second time enjoying the eggplant dish, and this is probably going to be my favorite way to eat it. Pan-seared chicken breast with the leftover vegetable rice from yesterday plated perfectly with the eggplant parm, and I'm convinced I'm growing eggplant again in the seasons to come. I took all ingredients to the kitchen to clean them off and cut. I sliced the eggplants kind of thick because the images I seen online show the eggplant parmesan recipes kind of meaty. After slicing all eggplants, I salted them and left them to sweat for about 30 minutes to allow the bitter moisture to drain out. Meanwhile, I prepped other parts for today's dish, and then rinsed the salt off the eggplants and patted them dry after those 30 minutes. I decided to pan fry the eggplants using the 3-dipping method. First dip with flour and seasoning, the second with the egg, and then third with the breadcrumbs. I turned them to make sure both sides had a nice and crispy layer, and then I allowed to dry on some paper towels. I added marinara sauce to a baking pan and then lined the eggplants up in the pan. I mixed a little bit of olive oil to my fresh herbs and sprinkled them on top of the eggplants. Then layer with mozzarella followed by parmesan. I put everything to bake for about 10 to 15 minutes. And y'all know what comes after. Bon appetit.